Tell you about my cigar for this week. I smoked the Espinosa Mercialago Toro.
It's easy for you to say.
Now, Mercialago is not Donald Trump's resort in Florida. It's Spanish for bat. The kind that fly, not the kind that you swing. And this cigar was originally launched by Espinosa in 2009, and it went on to become a bit of a cult classic. It was originally created by Eric Espinosa and former United Tobacco partner Eddie Ortega, and the cigars were made by Don Pepin Garcia. So good reason to assume that this was a pretty good smoke out of the gate, and it was very popular. But then United Tobacco broke up, and when it did, Eric Espinosa kept the rights to the Mercialago brand, but the blend stayed with Don Pepin Garcia, and the cigar basically just disappeared.
Okay.
Then in 2015, the next generation was blended by Eric and Amilcar Perez Castro. But that blend also went away eventually, and I swear I did not know this until after I had started smoking and reviewing the cigar, but the current version of Mercialago was blended in Nicaragua by AJ Fernandez.
Of course.
I did not know this. And I'm looking up information so I can, talk about it, with some degree of knowledge. And sure enough, the Toro is a 6x52, pretty sharply box pressed with a beautiful Mexican San Andres wrapper that practically calls to your palate with whispers of a promising smoking experience.
The label's real cool too.
Yeah, it is. I used my trusty punch cutter and took a nice pre-light sniff, and I tested out the cold draw. I got a gritty chocolate, some floral notes, and a distinct jolt of pepper, leading me to believe that Ian is going to wind up picking up the ukulele before this review is over. And that time is now, because the moment I lit up the Mercialago, I was greeted with our old friend with the terrible theme song, the NPB.
NPB makes me feel fine.
Are you sure that's the right chord? Okay.
Yeah, man. And then
our old friend.
So
yeah, I hate that.
Where's the jasmine part?
The NPB, or as it was originally known, the Nicaraguan Pepper Blast. And I mean, it was a blast. Now, there was creaminess and chocolate working with the pepper in the first third, which kind of evened it out, with espresso on the retrohale and a hint of malt. The second third developed into a pretty quintessential AJ Fernandez blend: earth, coffee, leather, and of course, black pepper. He's pretty consistent with those through a lot of his different blends. The final third, the flavors intensified, if that's possible, and the cigar just kept getting better and better. This stick might be better than a Man of War, and almost as good as a Belas Artes.
Oh,
yeah.
You really enjoyed this. I reviewed this years ago, and I remember really enjoying it, but I wonder if it was an earlier iteration of it.
It may have been one of those earlier blends. Chocolate mousse, savory meatiness, and a hint of salt all made an appearance before I got it down to the nub, as you will see in that picture right there. Construction, damn near perfect, which always impresses me if it's a box press cigar, because that's a much more difficult cigar to keep the burn even. Once
you actually have to slightly underfill a cigar that you're going to box press, because you have to have room to press it.
The burn was perfect, the firmness was perfect, and the draw could not have been more perfect. Strength was medium to full, right in my sweet spot. So for me, it was perfect. If you're getting the impression I liked this one, you would be correct. Now, obviously, I'm a fan of AJ's work, but this one that he blended with Eric Espinosa is just spectacular. It did seem to smoke just a little bit fast. That's probably because I couldn't stop puffing on it. I'm serious. At today's prices, the Espinosa Mercialago Toro is about a $10 cigar. Now, honestly, although I love some of AJ's blends that are a couple of dollars cheaper, if this one had cost me $12 or $13, I would not have batted an eye.
You said bat.
And exactly. You caught that. I'm impressed. And I would have immediately bought more, which I will do, by the way. Excellent cigar, wonderful experience, price to quality 6.5 at a $10 to $11 price point. It was fabulous. I enjoyed it as much as any cigar I've smoked in a long time. It was just absolutely fantastic. And as you mentioned, and people will see it in the photos if you're you're watching the video on YouTube. But the band is really cool. It's this sort of shiny, fluorescent, almost looking surface on the band, and it's got a really coolly drawn bat. It doesn't look like a bat.
It's kind of purple and is it purple and gold? Is that what it is?
But it looks kind of like somebody was drawing a new logo for the front of Batman's costume. That's kind of what it looks like in terms of the way the bat is shaped on there. So anyway, great stuff, and I recommend it quite highly.